Meanwhile, President Obama planning to swing by California again next week, even though it is not necessarily a swing state. He has spent more time there than at pivotal states like North Carolina and Pennsylvania. He's going after money, not votes. He has a lock there, but so far he has raised $40 million there. Mitt Romney has raised half that much in the Golden State. But despite all of the bumps, Mitt Romney is still raising big bucks from those super PACs, $150 million and counting. A lot of that coming from business guys who don't like where this country is going. Public notices Gretchen Hamel says as bad as these swing state polls look for Romney now, he would be in even deeper doo-doo without that cash. Well, that's amazing right there.
Oh, that's amazing. I think in this economy right now, you know, Mitt Romney should be leveraging that. Like we heard him talking about Greece today. That's a good thing. I think the more he can talk about the economy and the more he can talk about the debt that we have, that's a great thing. However, these super PACs have kept him in the race. Why? Because why we had this long kind of drawn out primary, you had these super PACs who were out there framing who President Obama was. He's a very likable character. The majority of Americans like him. They want to believe in him. They want him to work. But these super PACs were out very early talking about him, framing him. And then over the course of the summer, when Romney didn't have the dollars to spend because he wasn't the quote-unquote official and could not release those funds, they were basically keeping him in the fight. And if you look at
during the conventions, I remember, and I talked to you during them, I mean, what is he doing with the money he's gotten? I mean, he didn't run ads during the convention.
Now you have
Mitt Romney was outspent 6-1. He
was outspent 6-1. It has a lot of people scratching their head. That's why we've seen the turn in the numbers of people believing.
What is his strategy to spend this near the end, like an end of the Macy Day fireworks? Because up to 1 out of 3 could have already voted by then.
Exactly, and I think that's why everyone in Washington D.C. is scratching their head, wondering if he's about to release some of those funds. But they haven't even, as of earlier this week, they hadn't even placed where those buys were going to be.
Well, what are these guys telling me? The big PAC guys who throw a lot of money in this race. And as you were pointing out before, a lot of them just do it out of patriotism. You can accept or reject their point of view, but they're worried about the country and they want to get the word out. Now, typically, if you don't get what you like in a series of ads, you up the ante and the octane. So does this mean nastier ads come? What?
Well, I think right now a lot of it is going to be left up to the candidate, but you have to look at what these business leaders feel. You were talking about it earlier with the NFIB poll, that they feel like there's been a shift in government to where government is now getting in the way of them. And so I think you will see an up in the ante of the nastier ads, but I think you also have to see an up in the ante from the candidate itself, because at the end of the day, he's going to have to bring it home and, you know, cross the home plate.
Now, a lot of business leaders, even those with a lot of cash, take it off the table if they think it's a losing proposition. Have we seen any signs of that?
I think you've seen over the course of the past week a few people wringing their hands and just kind of wondering and hemming and hawing on a lot of things. Having said that, you've got to look at some of the surveys at NFIB. Duluth had one talking with all the CFOs, and the majority of CFOs believe that we're off to a bad start, that, I mean, the economy is off in a bad position, that they're not going to be hiring. 58% cite the fiscal cliff for that. Another survey that was done by the Business Roundtable talks about the not wanting to hire folks because of the economy and government policies.
I'll tell you, Gretchen, that's not getting out there. What's getting out there is the narrative of Mitt Romney's clueless, the 47 thing. He is the bane of his own existence.
Yes, and it's also the narrative that these are folks who want to buy an election. But as you know, we're talking about here, these are people who believe in the country and believe in the economy and want to keep America at its best. And they are seeing a shift in government and wanted to change back. And that's why they're investing. So is there frustration
of the folks you talk to, whether you buy the polling skewed or what, that it's beyond the margin of error in some of these states, and that Romney better get off his hiney and do something?
Yeah, this is going to be a close race. I mean, yes, we're 41 days away, but that is a lifetime in the Twitter world, in the 24 news
hours cycle.
Does
anyone talk about a split race, like a 2000 deal?
You know,
like well, someone wins a popular vote, someone else the electoral vote?
You're starting to hear a little bit about that. You're starting to hear a little bit more about voter fraud, about people hiring lawyers and getting ready for a fight. I would not put that out of, you know, the question of of actually happening in 2012.
Man, that was a nightmare. Gretchen, thank you very much. I know you were 10 when that happened, but it was a nightmare.